Ancestral law and moral order, the heart of African ancestral tradition. 1. Introduction, the foundation of ancestral law and moral order. Core component alignment, ancestral law and moral order, identity, lineage, and communal belonging. Ancestral law is the sacred framework that governs existence within African ancestral tradition. It is not written legislation but living law or embedded in the land, lineage, ritual memory, and spiritual authority. Moral order arises from this law and defines how human beings must live in order to remain in harmony with the cosmos. From birth, an individual is born into law, not choice. One inherits obligations to the ancestors, the community, the earth, and the unborn. This foundation establishes morality as communal and intergenerational. Actions are judged by their ripple effects across lineage and spiritual realms. Ancestral law preserves continuity, ensuring that the wisdom of the past governs the present and safeguards the future. 2. Cosmic origin of law and moral authority. Core component alignment, cosmology and spiritual hierarchy. All ancestral law originates from the supreme creative source, known across African civilizations by sacred names. This source establishes cosmic order, which flows through divinities, nature forces, ancestral spirits, elders, and finally the living community. Moral authority is therefore sacred, not human-made. To violate ancestral law is to rebel against cosmic order itself. Moral obedience is alignment with the structure of existence. This understanding prevents moral relativism and anchors ethics in universal spiritual truth. 3. Moral order as alignment with cosmic balance. Core component alignment, destiny alignment and life purpose. Moral order is measured by balance. Right action sustains equilibrium between spiritual and material forces. Wrong action creates imbalance that manifests as misfortune, illness, conflict, or ecological disruption.
Each person carries a destiny sanctioned by the spiritual realm. Moral living clears the path for destiny fulfillment, while ethical failure obstructs it. Thus, morality is not restriction but liberation into one's ordained path. 4. Spiritual hierarchy and ancestral enforcement. Core component alignment, ancestral veneration and lineage continuity. Ancestors are active moral agents. They observe, guide, protect, and discipline their descendants. Their authority enforces ancestral law through spiritual feedback rather than institutional punishment. Blessings follow alignment, warnings and afflictions follow transgression. This system maintains moral discipline even in the absence of visible enforcement structures. 5. Ancestral veneration and lineage reputation. Core component alignment, ancestral veneration and lineage continuity. Moral behavior honors the ancestors and preserves lineage dignity. Shameful conduct stains ancestral names and weakens spiritual protection. Praiseworthy conduct elevates lineage standing in both visible and invisible realms. Libation, remembrance, and moral conduct are inseparable. One cannot claim ancestral reverence while living contrary to ancestral law. 6. Ritual practice as moral regulation. Core component alignment, ritual practice and ceremonial rites. Rituals reaffirm moral order. Festivals, sacrifices, cleansing rites, and communal observances renew the covenant between the living, the ancestors, and the land. When moral breaches occur, ritual restoration is mandatory. Without it, imbalance persists. Ritual is therefore law in action, not symbolic performance. 7. Divination as ethical diagnosis and guidance. Core component alignment, divination and ancestral communication. Divination systems diagnose the moral and spiritual causes behind events. They identify broken taboos, neglected ancestors, violated oaths, or destiny misalignment. Divination restores moral clarity and prescribes precise corrective actions, reaffirming ancestral law as dynamic and responsive. 8. Initiation and the transmission of moral knowledge. Core component alignment, initiation and sacred knowledge transmission. Initiation marks entry into deeper moral accountability. Sacred laws, taboos, and ethical responsibilities are revealed progressively according to spiritual maturity. Knowledge without moral discipline is forbidden. Initiation ensures that power is matched with ethical restraint. 9. Indigenous medicine and moral responsibility. Core component alignment. Indigenous medicine and herbal science. Healing knowledge is governed by ancestral law. Plants are spiritual beings, harvested with prayer, permission, and purpose. Using medicine for harm violates moral order and invites ancestral sanction. True healing restores ethical, spiritual, and physical balance. 10. Land spirituality and earth-based law. Core component alignment. Land spirituality and earth reverence. The land is sacred law made visible. It witnesses moral conduct and responds to transgression. Sacred groves, rivers, and shrines are protected by ancestral law. Crimes against the land demand communal restitution, not private punishment. 11. Identity, belonging, and moral standing. Core component alignment. Identity, lineage, and communal belonging. Moral integrity defines social legitimacy. Persistent violators may face spiritual exile, while upright individuals gain trust and authority. Identity is ethical before it is biological. 12. Destiny alignment and ethical living. Core component alignment. Destiny alignment and life purpose. Destiny unfolds through moral obedience. Ethical living aligns human effort with spiritual support. Blocked destiny often signals unresolved moral obligations. 13. Taboos, oaths, and restorative justice. Core component alignment. Taboos, oaths, and spiritual ethics. Justice, restitution, and balance restoration. Taboos protect sacred order. Oaths bind the soul to truth. Justice seeks restoration, not punishment. Confession, sacrifice, and restitution heal moral breaches. 14. Eldership as custodianship of ancestral law. Core component alignment. Eldership authority and custodianship. Elders embody moral maturity and ritual authority. They interpret law, arbitrate disputes, and guard tradition. Authority flows from ethical integrity, not force. 15. Rites of passage and moral evaluation across life. Core component alignment. Rites of passage from birth to ancestorhood. Each stage of life carries moral obligations. Death is the final moral assessment. Only those who lived rightly are welcomed among the ancestors. 16. Conclusion. Living under ancestral law today. Core component alignment. Continuity of ancestral wisdom. Ancestral law remains alive wherever lineage, land, and ritual are honored. Moral order sustains harmony between worlds and generations. To live ancestrally is to live responsibly, consciously, and in service of balance.